Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on another episode of What to Watch. I'm Savannah Jones.
And I'm Rex Ravita. Today we have Joey Santore and Al Scorch joining us. They are the co-hosts on the show Kill Your Lawn.
So the crime pays, but botany doesn't is not only a flourishing YouTube channel, but also it's a podcast now. So with the premiere of Kill Your Lawn, y'all talk about lawns, plants, and the environment, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. So I know both of you were previously in different career fields. So how did you both get interested in botany?
Well, I was working for the railroad, and, I kept, looking around wanting to puke all the time whenever I looked at, the world outside. And so then I decided the best antidote to help keep the nausea down was to learn more about the non-human living world around me, the biosphere, como they say, especially through the lens of plant ecology and evolution. And so I just started doing that. And it got to the point when I was at work, in the locomotive cab, where we'd be waiting at a signal. And so I would just pull a textbook out of my bag or a research paper and just read about that. And it was very nice. And like the more I always said I'd work for the railroad until it started to suck. And, sure enough, 5 or 6 years ago, it started to suck. The company got really terrible. And so, I don't know. I just, when I saw the opportunity to dip out of the railroad and start doing this full time, I started doing that. So.
Love it. What about you?
I've been along for the ride. I've been.
He's doing it.
I have broad interests. I'm very curious. So when Joey started getting into the conifers and whatnot and all the evergreens, about 10 or 12 years ago, I was like, that's cool. I never knew he'd take it this far. So. I've been, and now he's doing all the plant stuff on there. And I said, look at this guy. A lot of people are doing this stuff. And I said, there's something to that.
They're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They're doing all kinds of stuff. We first bonded over making a video.
I got to get on here.
What about Bensonville? Tell me about Bensonville. Remember Bensonville?
We've been doing little comedic videos together just to, keep our sanity for the last, 14 years or so. There was a neighborhood, actually a small township right by O'Hare Airport in Chicago, and it was eminent domain. They eminent domain a whole neighborhood in Bensonville. So one of the first things we ever done is we went out there and we drove around and we looked at this whole neighborhood that had been abandoned. There was chest-high grass in the yards. There were deer walking around. It was like something out of Terminator 2 or something like
right, and behind all of it was the
post-apocalyptic.
It was Mayor Daley too. He did that. He shut everything down. We didn't like that, but it had to be done. And then we went to talking about the Sloan Urinal Company too. Talking about Sloan.
And then we would continue to do these little videos for ourselves, just joking and goofing and stuff. So we went out to the Sloan Valve Company on Manheim Road in Franklin Park, Illinois, and that's that's where they make the urinal valves and the toilet valves worldwide. You go to the bathroom anywhere, and in a commercial setting, at a restaurant, at any kind of industrial place, a doctor's office, those are all made by Sloan Valve Company in Franklin Park. And we said, wow, we got to get out there and talk to these guys. So we've been doing stuff like that for a while. And then he started doing the plant stuff. And I said, oh my God, this is really catching on. I got to learn some of this botanical knowledge because, the natural world around us is really a wonderful place.
Right. So it's been this weird merge of, doing videos at the Sloan Urinal Company and, the airport expansion for Bensonville, moving into, all kinds of different native plant restoration stuff. So that's what we're on now. We're trying to convince people to kill their lawn and put in the native plants, so they don't feel like puking when they get home from work, because a lot of people, you look around modern America today, it can be pretty bleak. People get all kind of different, mental health conditions because basically because we live in a consumer capitalist shithole, and so that's what happens. You got mass shootings all the time and stuff. You got all kinds of goofy stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so this is a night, and further the disconnection from, the nature and stuff. I mean, you can't be having that. Al, can you have that? You can't have that. You can't have this connection from natures. right?
You know, you're talking about the new series and how it's focused on killing your lawn and, you know, rejecting the lawn industrial complex. Explain a little bit about what killing your lawn exactly means for those who like have no idea what it is.
Well, you know, a lot of people got a lawn. They don't really know why they got a lawn. Al, you know, he seems like he's okay. I think he's fine.
No, I'm doing good. You know, I'm enthusiastic about getting an opportunity to talk about this stuff because it's important. You know, people think about killing your lawn. They say, why would you want to do that? Okay, because here's the thing that's going on with the lawn.
Why you want to do that?
They say, why you want to do that? The lawn looks nice. You know, it symbolizes a couple things. It symbolizes that you're participating in society in a proper way by maintaining a manicured lawn.
It's about obedience and conformity. You know, you don't want to do that. Some people do, but I don't want to do that.
It's comforting to people, you know. So people say, why you want to kill your lawn? It looks so nice with why you got to kill it. And it's like, you know what? Like having a monoculture grass that you need a bunch of petrochemicals to maintain water in the midst of a drought.
Boring too. It's fucking boring too. You know, when I was a kid, we didn't want to play in it. But people say I got lawn for the kids. When I was a kid, I don't want to play in a lawn. I want to go play in alleyways and in the bushes and stuff, spots the highway. You want to go sit out. It's 105 degrees here in Texas. Who wants to go sit in the lawn on a summer day? If you're playing soccer or something, go do that. But I don't want to do that. You know, and it's missing context. You know, a lot of this grass isn't even native. And also, we're about trying to get, you know, we want diverse yards, native plants, get all the insects back, get all the birds back.
I think it's about living in cooperation with nature and living in cooperation with the natural world, as opposed to forcing our view of what it should be upon a natural world. Because that ain't right. You know, we had to have a Clean Air and Water Act, you know, in 1972, because if you don't have that, you know, corporations are just going to, you know, pollute to squeeze the dollar out.
Where you guys are in Dallas? Where are you guys at?
We're in Dallas.
Yeah. So you got, you know, you got the all kinds of cool prairie around there, a bunch of cool native plants. You know, how many people grow up in Dallas not knowing, you know, not being able to name a single native plant that grows around there? You know, that's what happened to me growing up in Chicago, because everything had been destroyed. Now we got this native plant movement coming back. We got people killing lawns, doing prairie restoration, you know, all kinds of stuff.
I want to switch gears just for 1 second so we can talk about that viral video, Rex.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Chonkosaurus. What was happening and how did you get to that point where you saw this Ninja Turtle?
Look at this guy. Look at his. We got a picture of his most beautiful side. Look at the size of that thing. Oh my God. That's a massive turtle. Is that a snapper? He's a snapper.
That's a Chicago River snapper. Are you kidding me?
Look at that beast. Hey, how you doing, guy? You look good. Well, Al, why don't you start this? You tell them about what we were doing out there that day, and we tell them about all the stuff, you know?
No, I mean, you know, that's a very pertinent question. You know, how did we get here? That's really, I think about that a lot. You know, how did this all start? Well, we decided we just got to get out on a river, a Chicago river, on a kayak, because it was a beautiful day. And, you know, Chicago has this, you know, waterway that's coming back. It used to be formerly industrially polluted, you know, but a lot of that traffic has died down and the river's coming back. And, you know, Joey was up in town. He was visiting his ma. He was, you know, staying in my spare bedroom. I said, let's get out and do something nice. What about a kayak? So we got out in a tandem kayak real nice, like we're Laverne and Shirley.
You know, we were out on the river and we're looking at all the stuff coming out from the steel retention walls. And, you know, there was a lot of trash in the river, still some spray paint cans, wino bottles, some foam.
It was. So are all the turtles in Chicago this big, or was it just a special turtle?
No, I think it was a pregnant female. You know, we don't really know. We didn't get to the bottom of this, and we're certainly not trying to misgender this turtle, but we did know. We heard estimates, perhaps it was a female. We heard some other guy, you know, on the Nat Geo said it might have been a male. I don't think anybody knows, and I think it's kind of presumptuous for any of these people to assume. I would certainly lean more towards pregnant female, but she was hanging out on these rusty chains and rotten pylons. It was the most beautifully Chicago thing. I mean, everything about it just screamed Crook County. If you had an alderman taking a payoff from someone that owns a construction firm, and, you know, the smiling god of Mayor Daley and surrounded by floating hot dogs, looking down on his turtle. You could not have created a more Chicago scene.
So I know you guys travel everywhere from like Cali to Louisiana for Kill Your Lawn. So what was your favorite city to visit?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I think New Orleans was nice to visit. We both have been there many times. I like New Orleans. I think New Orleans was my favorite, culturally speaking, if we're just talking people, not plants. But I primarily travel to see plants because I find out people are kind of the same everywhere, So
yeah.
I would say, plant wise, I don't know. I liked Miami, but there's no plants left. They've turned it into a giant automobile slum. But they got some really cool habitat there. Al, what about you? Where was your favorite spot?
I had favorite parts about every single place. I'll give that answer where I don't pick a favorite, but New Orleans was great for the culture and the vibe. Miami was amazing for the Everglades. Rio Grande Valley was amazing to just like see that coastal desert, that coastal dune open up into the desert. That was cool. And in Southern California, you can't be beat. So we really love going everywhere, and we hope we get to go more places to do the show. What an opportunity!
Right.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do another season up on a northern latitude so we can explore the plant communities up there.
That'd be real nice.
We'll see how they differ.
So for those people who aren't able to fully kill their lawns or do anything like that, maybe they're in a HOA, what are some tips that you can give lawn owners to help the environment instead of just killing their lawn?
Well, I think just becoming acquainted with this stuff is a positive act in itself. Look for the little crumbs of habitat around you that haven't been turned into a bleak strip mall yet, and go to these natural areas. Use the iNaturalist app. Take pictures of the plants you see. That I think a lot of us just kind of go through life shit for brain, not paying attention to this stuff because we don't have any context for it. You stop, you start asking questions. You could use your phone to look at pictures of asses and food. You can look at your phone, or you could do that too, or you could use your phone to educate yourself about the natural living world that you're a part of, so you don't go through life like a oblivious jackass, just unthinking, doing what you're told.
People just don't know.
They just don't know. Yeah, they're misled. We don't. Society's relationship to plants is still not where it should be. It's still pretty archaic and goofy. People think of plants just is it attractive or not. They don't think about it's pollinated by a certain thing. It associates with a certain soil fungi. It's dispersed by a certain thing. They don't realize that plants don't just exist by themselves. They're parts of ecosystems. You want to start bringing other parts of that ecosystem back. You got to plant the native plants. You plant plants from 9,000 miles away just because some jackass at Home Depot thinks they arbitrarily look good. That doesn't really benefit the native plants and animals here. It'll benefit the native plants and animals in the ecosystem where that thing's native in Europe or South Africa or Australia or wherever, but it's not going to benefit stuff here. You want to benefit stuff here. You want to get, even hunters, they want to get, more deer, bird watchers, they want to get more birds. You got to plant the native plants. Everything's connected. That's what we're trying to, that's the message we're trying to run home. This isn't just like a feel good move. It's a way to form a relationship with the land you live on and not be such a jackass, when you're out in your day-to-day life.
That's the tagline.
Yeah. Sorry, but what'd you say?
So I said that's the tagline: form a relationship with your environment and don't be a jackass.
Exactly. That will be right. Exactly. There you go.
So y'all, just to end it out, we just want to hit y'all with a speed round, ask a few questions, some personal questions, some that is a little bit like trivia, see if you guys can answer it. And this is just our little way of ending out the interview. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your favorite way to kill a lawn? I seen some goats eating some grass. So what was y'all favorite way to kill a lawn?
I would have to say that in New Orleans, we killed this guy's lawn who, we had a service for it, a memorial service. I dressed up like a priest and I was able to, it was a rental outfit. I was able to keep that rental outfit for, another week. And you know, where it was Mardi Gras too, so I could, you know, you can get away with a lot when you're in a priest outfit. You know, no one's gonna hassle you. You can walk through rough neighborhoods. You know, no one's gonna rob you. You can, you know, all kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, I would.
My favorite way I'd have to say was the other New Orleans episode where we had drag queen wrestlers come and have a match on the lawn and rip that lawn out. You know, it is always just a joy. And we're very proud to feature amazing drag performers on a show. We were really happy to get them. And I hope everybody, you know, from Texas to Florida, you know, to Connecticut to Oregon, checks that episode out with the drag queen wrestlers. They're fantastic.
Yeah, that's interesting. We were talking before the show and we were like, okay, so how do they kill a lawn with a drag queen? Like, roll around or what's happening?
Absolute fierceness.
I wouldn't take them on, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, so our next one is more of a trivia. What is the official city flower of Chicago?
Oh, God, probably a tulip or something.
Yeah, probably something dumb. I never looked that up. Do you guys know?
Dumb.
I mean, we didn't know it, but we did look it up.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a chrysanthemum.
It's not even native.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even a native.
Mayor Daley's ma probably liked it. That's why they made it. They were like, what's Ma Daley's favorite flower? Chrysanthemum. Those are nice.
It's a hot dog. The official native flower of Chicago is a hot dog.
I was surprised that it actually was an official one. So, yeah, maybe I think for everyone else, probably it might be a hot dog.
Yeah, they're native to East Asia and Northern Europe. So
okay.
That's how disconnected we are. You know, people don't even know the native plants. There's so many cool native plants in Chicago. Yeah. You get prairie dock, Silphium terebinthinaceum, you know, Kankakee mallow, a really cool species of globe. It's like a native hollyhock. There's so many cool natives, but it's off people's radar because they don't know. That's, you know, the natives have been wiped from the landscape.
Yeah. So if you had to choose one plant to represent your personality, which plant would it be and why?
You know, I'm gonna have to go with Welwitschia mirabilis here because it's just, you know, it's just this chaotic mass of these two leaves, and it's unlike any other plant. That's real weird, and you know, you just they grow in the fog deserts in Namibia, and they just got these sprawling meshes of leaves that end up everywhere. They're a conifer technically. They can live for 2,000 years. They're just one of the most bizarre plants in the world, and they live in barren areas. I mean, there's almost nothing else that grows there. Maybe a handful of, you know, other species, but that's it. They grow in fog deserts on the west coast of southern Africa.
Cool.
I'd have to go with some of the, you know, like the native one of the native silphiums of the Illinois prairie, you know, large and in charge, thriving in the Midwest. And you know, I got a lot to do in the world, much like this plant.
Right. Sends roots down 40 feet into the prairie soil, and Al's roots are 40 feet down into the substrate of Chicago. There's no pulling them out of there. You might be able to, maybe for a week or two, but you know, more than that, you can't do it.
Then I start to lose my powers, you know.
You gotta come in.
Our final one is another sort of trivia. What plant do Texans rave about and even pull over while driving to take pictures when they bloom every spring?
Well, it'd be the bluebonnets. It'd be the Lupinus texensis. But, you know, I think what most Texans probably don't know is there's like, I don't know, a couple other 100 species of lupin, a couple other 100 species in that genus. Wow. And there's a couple other species in Texas too, so they can explore the native diversity of lupin. You know, if they like bluebonnets, they can also see what other variations on that form are out there. So
yeah, that's great. Like when I moved here last year, and I'm like, y'all stop y'all cars to pull over next to these flowers, but it is a whole.
Oh yeah,
he loves bluebonnets.
TxDOT seeds the highways here, which is cool with all kinds of native plants. So I'll give Texas that. That's pretty cool, at least.
Yeah.